Alright, welcome to my second requested LibGDX tutorial, and as the first one it's actually not requested, but I'm just doing it because I can. So this nice guy here, JSprouse, asked if, well, let's just read out the question. I'm using separate stages in my game level in order to pop up a paused screen. The idea is not bad, but it has some disadvantages. I'm wondering whether I should be using screens for this, that is, setting the current screen to a new pause screen or a level screen, level over screen, etc. Sure, you could be doing that, but as you might have already got yourself, if you do this, you lose the possibility to draw the pause screen over the level, so you can't have two screens set at the same time without further work to do, and so that is, if you want to draw your pause screen over your level, that's probably not what you want to do. If I'm going to draw each level on the same screen, is there any reason I shouldn't just use stages to manage the status of the game? Well, if you put all your game related characters on stages, and if you are fine with the logic being managed by stages and everything, well, you can do it, but well, I don't really think, for me it wouldn't be the solution, but you can do it if you want to. But that also has some disadvantages that I'm just going to show you right now. As it's the same disadvantages like that you have when you're using separate stages at the same time. So let's actually go into our settings class. The settings class is, well, what you get when you click on the settings button. And inside here we now want to do what you did and create a second stage. So at first let's go up here and say stage 2. And then we go here and create a new stage. Stage 2 equals new stage. It looks all fine, does it? It works for you, it works for me, but there is a disadvantage, and that is in the stage class. Because every stage contains its own SpriteBatch, right here. And a SpriteBatch is, when you hover with the mouse over it, a SpriteBatch is a pretty heavy object, so you should only ever have one in your program. That's what LibGDX says. So if you have two stages, you also have two SpriteBatches, and you don't want that. Sure, there is a way to get around this, and that is using a different constructor. Here, down there, the longest one is a constructor where we pass in the width, the height, the keep aspect ratio, and batch. So width is going to be stage.getWidth, then stage.getHeight, false or true, it doesn't really matter for us now. And now we can actually take the SpriteBatch from the first stage and put it in here. Stage.getSpriteBatch. So now the second stage is created with some width and height. You maybe want to adjust that. And with the SpriteBatch of the first stage. So after all, you just have one SpriteBatch and you're all right with the stages. I'm not sure about the disposing though, because if you dispose the stage, oh yeah, okay, that's not a problem. Good. So now you have this two stages method, but I think there is a way better way to create pause screens, and that is another actor. This actor is actually called window, and we can create independent pause menus with it. So what a window is just like these windows we have. They are sizable, not by the user by default, but you can size them, of course. They are draggable. You can drag them around, and they don't affect anything else on the stage. So you see, this window doesn't affect the window after it. And well, I guess you know how windows work. So let's just create a new window. Gonna call that pause which equals a new window, and then we pretty much have the same constructor as we usually have for everything else, always. Text, skin, blah blah blah, and here it's the title, and it's gonna be called pause, and we're putting in the skin. So we always put in the skin because it searches for the skin here has this texture atlas, and it searches for its window style. It just searches for its window style. My pronunciation sucks. So here is the window style, and these are all the things that are in there. Most of them are optional, but the title font is not. So we have to go in your menu skin.json and create such a window style. com.badlogic.gdx.scenes.scene 2d.ui.window inner class window style is the path, the package. So let's create the default one that the window searches for if you don't give it a name, and the title font is what we require, what we have to put in there. So title font is just gonna be black 64 because it's black and it's 64 pixels high, so it's a little bit big. Yeah, that's good for our use case. Also, we don't have to, but we want to set a background which is a drawable. So without background it would just look kind of boring and you don't really see where the window actually has its bounds. So let's set a background. Background is default.background. In case you don't remember what the default.background is, it's pretty much just the drawable that we put in our texture atlas for cases like this, where we just need some kind of background. And it's just white, plain white pixel. So now we just have to add actor, pause, add this window to the stage, and we can already see it, I think. Let's try that out. There it is. And now in the settings we see the window. Oh, that looks great, doesn't it? That's really what you want your pause screen to look like. Not. Okay, I'm not being very funny, but we definitely have to do some work on this. So at first we couldn't see the whole title actually, so that's the first thing that sucks. And we can see we couldn't drag the window around. It was just at its size, and the size was pretty small, and we just couldn't drag around it or do anything with it. Pretty unusable. So at first, let's make the window draggable, and that is done by the following. If we hover over window, we see this. The top padding is used as the Windows title height, and the title actually is where we can drag the window. It's just like here. Here's the title, and we can drag the window around it there. So because we didn't set any top padding yet, which is used as the Windows title height for this kind of window, we didn't have anything to drag around. So all we have to do is to set top padding, which is going to be 64 pixels. Or actually, can we do that in a cooler way? Get font window dot not window, pause dot get style dot title font dot. Okay, fuck it. We just want to set it to 64 pixels. probably there's a way to get the yeah, you know what I mean. We just want to do that. So 64 pixels is what the font that we use is high. So it's 64 pixels high, and therefore we set the top padding to 64 pixels so that the title just fits right in there. Of course it's hard coded and probably not so good, but in this case it really doesn't matter. It doesn't ever change unless you change the, you know what I mean. It just doesn't matter. So now we should be able to drag the window around. Let's try it out. Settings, and we can drag the window around. It's got its 64 pixels height, which goes from like here under the title to the top. Padding, not height, okay, it's padding. But we still can see the whole title. The P and the E is still missing. So let's do something about that. There is this pause.peg. And what pause.peg does is it sizes the actor to its preferred width and height. The preferred width and height is always everything that is inside plus the padding and the margin and whatever. If we just didn't set the padding, we wouldn't see the whole thing. Let's try that out. Back into it. And you see that's all we have of the window now, because we didn't set any padding and there is no content in. So it pegs it to like 1 pixel so that it exists. But now if we peg it and we set the 64 pixels height for the title, it pegs just around the title, because that's the padding and there is no content in. But that's not really a useful pause menu, is it? So let's put some content in. We want to put in 2 buttons. Add. We definitely have to use the add method, because there is also the add actor method. And if we add actor, we also see the actor there and it's clickable and everything, but it's not really correct. We have to do add, because I'm just gonna show you that really quick. If we can just look inside there. Okay, we can't. But anyway, the window extends the table, okay? And the table contains this add method. But the table extends the widget group, and the widget group extends the widget group contains the add actor method. But we actually want to add this button to the table inside the window. So we definitely have to use the add method, just like we use for our own table right here all the time. So what do we want to add? We want to add a new text button. Let's say continue and skin again. Because we have everything set up in our menu skin.json file, which is the skin, we don't have to do anything more. We just have to add another text button. Well, we don't have to, but we do. Text button. We're just gonna say exit and also take the skin. And because this whole thing is actually, this is table methods, and we don't want the 2 buttons to be right beside each other, we say .row, so that the row is finished here. It's just the same as it is for the table here. Table add row, pause extends table, .add, .row, and then another button. So now we should have 2 little buttons in the stage, right here under the pause title. So settings, and there we go. There they are. The white background containing which is of the window, and exit, continue. You see it. It still isn't really very nice. This is not what you want a pause screen to look like. You probably want it to go like from here to here, so take up this whole space. It's a little bit small. So let's set the size to stage.getWidth divided by 1.5f, which, oops, we don't care, and stage.getHeight divided by 1.5f as well, which is just gonna set the size to 2/3 of the width and the height, so that we still see the background, but we don't we don't have our main attention on what's going on behind the stage, behind the window, because we want the attention of the player to be on the pause window. So now that we have the size set, we still have to set the position. Set position, and let's set that to stage dot get width divided by 2, so it's in the middle, and then pause dot get get width divided by 2. Same here. So now it should have a good position and size. Well, it somehow doesn't. Why doesn't it? Well, the position is set correctly, but oh yeah, we still use the stage.pack, and as I said, the stage.pack sizes this actor to its preferred width and height. So the preferred width and height is that of the content plus padding, and then it just doesn't care what size we set before, it just overrides it. So let's remove this one and we should be fine. There we go. Takes up a little bit more space, looks a little bit better. Yeah, that's it. As you can see, the pause window is still an actor of the stage, and we can't move it out of the stage. I think that's actually good, so that we don't push it out and then can't get it back anymore. But if you want to, you can do extra stuff like pause.set keep within stage to false. Like, well, okay, that makes no sense. Let's just demonstrate that real quick. Whoop, and it can go out of the stage. Also, pause.set movable to false. We don't need this anymore because we can't move it out of stage anyway. And now we can move it around. Probably good if the pause screen should always be over the, you know, on the exact same place. I don't know what you want to do with the window in your game. And there still is one more good, one more very useful thing that we wanna introduce, that I wanna introduce to you, and that is, if you pop up the pause window, you probably want the attention of the player to be actually on the pause window and not on the background, which we can actually still click on and stuff. You have to pause it the way you do it in your game then. But to get the attention on this actual pause window, we probably want to make the rest less visible, so like a little bit of alpha black over it. Sadly, I don't have a half transparent alpha black image on my hands right now, but let's just say that blue is now half transparent black, okay? So there is this this other thing inside the window class, and inside there we got the window style, and there is this stage background, and this actually is like the background that fits over, that stretches over the whole stage, and then we have the background of the window which goes over the stage background. So let's go in the menu skin.json and set stage background to default selection, that's actually for text selection, sorry, and is a light blue, but we just imagine it's half transparent black. Okay. So we go back and settings, and there we go. Now we have definitely the main attention on the pause screen. Yeah, like I said, if this was half transparent black, we just still would see what's going on behind the window, but we wouldn't have our main attention on it. So let's actually remove this set movable false, and probably, yeah, I don't know. This is actually fine. I don't have to explain you now how to put some listeners on the button, and that you oh yeah, one thing. Let's actually take this continue button here, and we're just gonna call it continue button, and we'll make that button right here, text button continue button equals new text button, and then we say continue button dot set add listener new click listener clicked, override that one, and we don't need that. We just wanna make the pause screen actually disappear, so we have to put the pause screen, the pause window over it. Sorry. So otherwise it doesn't know what I'm talking about if I say pause here. And then we can say set visible false. It still doesn't know that. Yeah, we have to do the we have to set this final because of some Java stuff. If we declared the pause window up here, I think we would not have to set it to final, but because I'm just putting it in some screen now and I'm removing it later anyway, we just don't care and set this one to final. So now we have the continue button that actually makes sense. And you see that even though we don't see the back button right here down the corner, I can still click it because the background is just drawn over it, but it still exists. If we had the half transparent black, that would also make more sense. So now I go into settings and I click continue. The whole thing disappears. We can also set like this stage action so that it fades out and whatever on it. Just every normal actor stuff. But this way, I think we have a little bit nicer way of setting up a pause screen, pause menu, whatever. Even if that's not what you're looking for, it's still good to know, I think. And well, I'll actually just take this all out again because it's not in the correct place here for the project. But anyway, thanks for asking, thanks for watching, thanks for everything, and I'll just thanks for watching.